Shalom, Yabashim Shabrakatah. You hear me?
Shalom Yahbashim Shabrakatah.
What's going on, priest? What's going on? Salaki,
I'm
that last link I went, I had to send a new one. That one went wrong, so my bad, Salaki, about that.
No sweat.
We just wait for Canuck to jump back in, and we're going to jump in. We just want to talk about this Meg Thee Stallion situation, you know what I mean? Everybody else been talking about it, but, we didn't really – I know you might have brought something up about it. Did you bring something about it recently?
I think I made a post or two.
Okay.
It's a shame that any of this even, we got to even talk about stuff like this. But it is what it is. It's where we at.
Yeah, fortunately, this is our people. You know what I'm saying? So this is real situations in our community. So I was waiting for Canuck to jump back in, and we're gonna jump into it.
Come on.
I see Masha goes on the screen too, so we're just waiting for Canuck to jump in. I think Eleanor might be at work.
Shalom, sis. You hear me?
Shalom.
Shalom, sis.
Shalom.
As soon as Canuck jump in, we're just gonna go ahead with it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad. You know what I'm saying. We'll definitely have a sister's thoughts on this. Of course, we'll jump in and we'll all talk about it or whatever. We'll bring out some scriptures and we'll see what everybody's thinking about this or whatever. I know the sister, she had said something to me. She said, we wouldn't have any Meg Thee Stallions without lustful brothers, which is definitely the truth.
That's definitely the truth.
Yeah, because and she had pointed out, just like I seen it too. Kazaka, Officer Kazaka Mar from out DC, I seen him make a post about it, and I'm pretty sure he taught about it, with his heavy topics. But yeah, that's a real thing because if hoes wasn't in demand, you know what I mean?
That's it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We wouldn't really have that problem. So, and of course, men are the leaders in Israel. So,
got to take some blame.
Right. We definitely do. I mean, we lost the kingdom because of niggas. You know what I mean? More so, because the sisters, they follow after us. So, when we make mistakes, you know what I mean? It just, you know what I mean? That's the beginning of the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, definitely, we hold the men responsible. We hold everybody in the nation of Israel responsible. You know what I mean? We all are children of the Most High, so we all, have a role in it. You know what I mean? So, hopefully the brother will jump in, and I want to give him a chance to get in so we can talk about it or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't really I rarely see like TV and everything, or you know what I mean. And I'm pretty sure I should pay attention to a little more, like the internet a little more. But I've seen everybody else talking about it, so that's why you know what I mean. It's definitely a topic, and we want to stay current on the topics or whatever. So definitely need to talk about it.
Con. Yeah, unfortunately, it's like almost like a priest's job to stay up on current events because it's like our people are so destroyed. They only care about they don't talk about the Third World War or Iran, and they worry about relationships of celebrities and stupid shit like that. Really, it ain't really nobody's business per se, but once you start talking about it the way you're talking about it, and then people take sides, now you gotta deal with it as far as a priest is concerned.
Right.
So that's how that goes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and what you're saying is heavy, man. Because I mean, just living the experience here. In general, you're going to have some type of you're going to have something to talk about. But definitely, as far as like day by day, there's things that are coming up. Every other day. You know what I mean? So they definitely need to be talked about because this is relevant right now. Me personally, myself, I know I need to pay a little closer attention to some of these politics too. Because it's something about when I see like Donald Trump, though, I just
turns you off.
Yeah, I just can't like. Yeah, every time I see him, I don't know. But I mean, for the good of the people, it's probably better that I need to start watching a little more. You know what I mean? Because yeah, he's definitely an idiot. You know what I mean? He's definitely an idiot. So yeah, so that's definitely fact. So I guess, man, I guess we'll hopefully the brother will jump in again. He wasn't on first, but the stream went out, so Hopefully, I'll send it to him again. Hopefully, he'll jump in. But we'll just jump on the topic. So I have
I'm
pulled.
gonna text him if I may, sir. You want me to
Yeah, go ahead,
text
go ahead.
him, give him a
Yeah,
call or something?
yeah, go ahead. Well, no, he needs the link, so I'm gonna send him the link again.
Con.
You know what I mean? So he can have the right link. This is it. I'm sending it to him now. He'll jump in. Hopefully he will. I mean, he always does. All right, so all right, again, we just talked about this Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson thing here, and so basically, I'm gonna just do a little rough. You know what I mean? I had did my research on it. I know they were dating for a year, a little over a year since about mid 2025. I guess they broke up in April 2026 this year, and then Megan publicly accused Klay of cheating. You know what I mean? And that's a heavy thing right there because of course we know in the UPK we have we don't think the same as our brothers and sisters in the world, so we're going to talk about that. But we can also understand why people in the world would think that he's wrong or whatever. All right. So, and again, I don't know. And like I said, maybe you or the sister can fill me in on did he do something, personally in the relationship? Did he put his hands on her? I don't know about any of that. I'm just
me either. I don't want.
Yeah. So that's why I got y'all on here so we can.
Law, sir. I don't follow them.
Oh, okay,
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, God. Well, we can all educate each other then. That's good. You know what I mean? So, because I want to come in here and then, be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? She blaming the brother for this and that. And then sister be like, hey, he beat her ass though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I just feel like Megan, she lost her dad like in most important years of her life. She didn't have a father.
Okay.
So, so she just out here.
That's good. You know what? And I'm glad you brought that up because again, I didn't know. I see the damn 412 sign is backwards. My bad, but I'll fix it next time. But anyway, but yeah, that's heavy because, and that goes back to like, I'm glad you brought that up because that goes back to a lot of our problems are because, we weren't raised in, in a certain type of household, like, you know what I mean? So I can see where these patterns that people pick up, you can see where it comes from, you know what I mean? And, so, but in all in all, the law is still supposed to be kept, just like a lot of us, you know what I mean? We come out of the world, and of course, we still make mistakes, you know what I mean? But the law is the law, you know what I mean? So, when you're wrong, you're wrong, you know what I mean? And you got to follow the law, you know what I mean? So that's a lesson for all of us, you know what I mean? So, but again, so she had publicly accused Klay. Keep Canuck up to speed. So Canuck, we're talking about Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. They dated for since like mid 2025. They broke up this April, and she accused Klay of cheating or whatever. Now, I think, to my knowledge, the brother hasn't even said anything publicly. Like he's like not saying anything. Am I right?
As far as I know, Arwan.
Okay. Yeah. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know, please. So now let's jump into this first. All right. So we know, being in the UPK, we know some things that they don't know. So we'll talk about, the worldly standpoint, like the sister just started to talk about, and I see she was going there, and we're going to talk about what we know in the UPK. Okay, so first of all right, they were dating for a year since mid 2025. All right, so now what is that synonymous with in the UPK? Anybody know?
If I made it, what the 6-month rule, and
right. There you go, the 1 year rule. You see what I'm saying?
1 year rule,
right. So that's something that in the UPK, Commander General Yohana, he implemented. Now I'm not saying that they just talk for a year. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't know, and I'm pretty sure in the world, most of us know. I know when I was in the world, I wasn't waiting 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I don't know about y'all. You know what I mean?
I'm out if it ain't clobbering. Back in, when I was in the world.
Yeah, right. Yeah, listen, we all been there, you know what I mean? So y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, so I don't know if that's the situation there, but I wanted to bring that out because in Luke 14:28, if I could, I'm gonna put it on the screen, and Canuck, if you could read this for me, please, Bubba Kushah. We got officer of 500, Haran here, and police officer of 50, Canuck. Let me pull it up on the screen for you first, brother. Hold on 1 second. Show it here real quick. Okay, it should be up there now.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether we have sufficient to finish it?
All right. Now, if I could, anybody but Officer Haran, y'all want to take a shot at what that's talking about?
Um, it's saying that for any of you that is trying to build upon something, sort it out first, think about it, plan it, and execute.
Oh,
And
excellent. That's excellent. You're right, brother. You're right. Now relate this into the topic of what we're talking about.
so it's saying like basically, like for example, with Megan Thee Stallion, I guess in her dude, she should have like they should have sat down and thought it out if they were going to be together. What is the pros and the cons, the outcome, if this person would be right for you or not? Examine their deeds, their their like their good and the bad,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
ugly. What could be the consequences? You got to think about all of those type of things in the scenario when you're dealing with somebody.
Hey,
Like
listen, that
if
was it.
That's
I
heavy.
don't know
that's
if you could. I don't
Yeah.
know if you could put that better.
Yeah. Damn.
you,
He's
Yeah,
a
look,
priest.
give,
He's
give him
definitely a
a hand.
priest.
Give him a hand. Listen, hey, listen, hey, right there. That showed me right there. You ready to speak right there?
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? That's exactly how you would break it down if you were speaking, brother. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And
God.
what he's saying is absolutely right. You know what I mean? And it's not just talking about just Meg Thee Stallion or just Klay Thompson. It's talking about in general, both of us. You know what I mean? And when you go into a relationship, you don't like, and in the world, I can relate this to the world. In the world, what do? You ain't doing that in the world. Yeah, what are you doing? You looking at how they look like, as a guy. You looking at that tail. You looking at the front. You looking at how she look in the face, and you thinking about one thing. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
Yeah. Now I don't know if the sister want to jump in on this, but like again, like I said, a lot of us don't sit down. And again, there is women now. There is women and men who do, who were raised a certain way, and they do know to look for certain things in the. But for the majority, I'm not gonna say majority, but a lot of people in the world, they don't think like that. You know what I mean? So y'all can go ahead and jump in on that.
Yeah, if I may, sir. Yeah, we really don't in the world it's
Exit out and I want to go to the other one. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Slot.
Yeah, Salaki. Yeah, in the world, it's just like I like you, you like me, and let's just get together and have some fun.
Right.
And a lot of times in the world, people have agendas too. Like so, in this particular situation, I'm not saying the sister Meg did, but that's a hell of a catch for a woman to get a Klay Thompson in this empire. You know what I mean? He's what you call a star. So
Right.
he got big money. You know what I mean? He ain't got no, nothing really. I've never heard nothing bad about him. He got championships. So
Right.
he's a catch for any woman in this empire.
Right.
And then now Meg, now this is just I ain't bashing women or nothing, but men lust after that type of woman,
Right.
far as like sexually,
Mm-hmm.
but to have her to have children with something like that, and now I'm talking worldly too, and in the truth, to have children with somebody like that and actually be with her long term, I don't think that's going to work. And that's how a lot of brothers look at those type of women.
Mm-hmm.
Her, the sexy reds, and all the women that follow that type of lifestyle. Men just want really one thing out of them. They just want to use them up and basically be a selfish bastard and just have fun with them. And then when they're
Right.
done with them, they throw them away. That's what a
Heavy,
man does
and
to a woman.
that's a heavy point because I was just about to add on to that, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Yeah, and that's absolutely right. And here's the thing: that's exactly why he should have never touched her.
Gone.
You know what I mean? So it's just as much as his fault as it is hers.
Gone.
You know what I mean? Anybody else want to jump in?
I just want to say, like, I'm tired of this culture that we're living under. It's really depressing. And, like, I sought to change that. Like, I know that I'm somewhat of a Nazi and a radical, but I definitely want to destroy this whole Christianity thing,
Yeah,
the whole
right.
doctrine. Like I set out to destroy it and destroy the Catholic Church as a whole and all of it because I don't like this culture and this white man is pushing this Megan the Stallion culture, and I need
Mm-hmm.
That's
everybody
heavy.
Heavy.
to understand that that shit is whack. It's whack. Like we need to go to back to our culture. This is our culture as Israelites.
Damn
And
right.
those people are so indoctrinated in that street stuff, they can't even see that this is the reason why our people is dying. This is a disease. And
Damn.
this is the reason why I sought to destroy that. And I'm gonna try to do everything I can to utterly destroy Christianity and the Catholic Church with all, because this is what all of this is coming from. This is under their rule. And this is not what Christ came here and died for. Yahweh Shah didn't die for this.
Damn right. Damn right.
Slocky, if I may, sir.
Hey, the brother been studying, man. The brother.
You sound pretty damn good. Slocky.
Hey, that brother been studying. Yeah, look, that was shit. Look, remember I used to say that to you. I was like, that brother when he learned his shit, I'm telling you, like what you're saying, Kanak, is extra heavy, man. Everything you said was man. Listen, yeah, you know what I mean. Proud of you, brother. You know what I mean. Like I said, and that's it. We supposed to. So we might. I'm almost certain. If not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday, we're gonna have Cam in Pittsburgh. So you know what I'm saying. We're gonna be out there. You know what I mean. You're gonna be able to do it. You know, yeah, definitely get out of here. You're gonna definitely be able to get out there and do your thing, brother. You know what I mean. So yeah, that was an excellent point, man. Keep studying just like you're doing, man. It's, you know what I mean. It's definitely paying off. I can tell. You know what I mean. So that's excellent. But go ahead. Anybody else?
Salaki, if I may, sir.
Go ahead, sis.
I want to piggyback off of Kanak. Everything he said is true. They got us living this lifestyle, and they create these artists that's not even living the lifestyle that they're promoting. You know,
that's
like Sexy Red is promoting being a whore, Cardi B and all of them, but that's not the life they're living.
Yeah. Con, you're right. Like I remember, like like even like Beyonce and them used to talk about certain things, but when them cameras go off, it was a completely different thing. You know what I mean? They weren't, their kids wasn't going through the same things your kids is going through.
Sir, like Cardi B kids, they have to learn and do all that. They're not twerking and doing all that.
Right. Right.
They're learning.
Right. Yeah, what you saying is heavy too, sis, because I even seen I can't remember who it was. Maybe you can help me with this, Ron. There was somebody came on and said, "Oh, I wouldn't like they rapped on one thing." Who?
I think it was Cardi B, who says basically she lives her life and she performs, but her daughter's not allowed to listen to her music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's heavy. That's heavy. My son just joined the chat. Shalom.
What's up, Most High Christ?
Yeah, Most High Christ. He said his mic is going on something, but he's in the class though, so that's excellent. Yeah, but yeah, what the sis brought out is extra heavy. You're right. They definitely aren't living that life. I know at one point in time. Now, who really knows the hit? Now I've seen that brothers have been putting this up out in school and everything, about like her history of dealing with certain people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I know she had a nice little line up there. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't really know the history of it, but I definitely seen a lot of, and then it's just her. There's a lot of people that's doing that. You know what I mean? There's a lot, especially in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And the hip hop, everybody dates everybody, and everybody just had a turn. You know what I mean? And again, like the sister brought up in the beginning, if that's what brothers like, just like you said, Ron, like brothers want that. Brothers be wanting them hoes. You know what I mean? And that's why they're a hot thing. You know what I mean? And to me, honestly, I don't understand how like a good woman, gets overlooked. I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're fine too. You know what I mean? They got all the same things that the whore got, but the whore, I guess, just flaunts a little more, and they're maybe, I don't know, easier, or what is it? You know what I mean?
If I may,
Go
sir.
Go ahead, sis. I'm Slocky.
We're too boring.
Damn, that's damn. Listen, and you know what? That's heavy too, because guess what? They say that about guys too. Like I see
good guy.
I see the shit on Stallion Live. Sister was like, "There's nothing wrong with this guy. He's just boring. Like he's a good earner. You know what I mean? Good father, good this and that. But he's boring." So I want
that's heavy. That's heavy.
Can you take me more into that? What you think they mean when they say he's boring or she's boring?
Well, basically, when you're born, you're not a wild child. You're not in a club. You're not being a whore. You're not walking around with your ass out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
Right.
if you look at those men, their women don't even have any clothes on.
Right.
So if you don't
Damn.
want to dress like that and look like a whore, then you're not attractive to certain men.
Right. Now let me ask you this.
Mm.
Would y'all I'm pretty sure y'all would agree with this, but I'm pretty sure it's it's the grip that Esau has on the planet. You know what I mean? He put his
That's
woman
right.
up there, and,
Con.
and then he puts the money out there like, okay, you can't have this money unless you play this game.
That's
You know what I mean?
exactly what it
Yeah,
Con,
is.
sir.
yeah, like it's like okay, and you know where we come from. We come from having shit, Salakia. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
anything. We don't, you got to wake up, you turn on the damn TV and you see, Paris Hilton on TV and she's being worshipped
Mm-hmm.
because she's a whore. You know what I mean? You see,
Mm-hmm.
all these other different, like Marilyn Monroe was another one. I'm gonna do it. I got an excellent class I'm gonna do on her. I isn't gonna be just on her, but I got something I'm gonna bring out about her. But it's deep. I did some research on her, man. She was the whore of whores. I'm talking about like, bro, if you would like, I'm talking about the horror of whores. Yeah, but anyway, our sisters, they grow up and they see that, and it's in a woman's nature, and men too. Sometimes you want attention, you want love, you want people to to see you and notice you. So you're going to do what you think needs to be done to get those things. You know what I mean? And if you don't have a man in the ISUPK or a brother in the truth, you know what I mean, watching over, or a sister, a mother in the truth, that can easily happen.
Can I
You know what I
say
mean?
something, sir?
Go ahead, brother, go ahead.
The situation with women being whores, this is coming from Esau. He's the
Mm-hmm.
one who took our women and whored them out in
Yeah,
slavery. That's when it started. He
right.
did that to our women and created this culture. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we need to reach the women and show them that that's not the way,
Right.
because show them the scripture in the Bible to show them that's not the way. I blame all this is the white man's fault. I blame this because
Mm-hmm.
it started from slavery when they was pimping out our women. And we
Yeah.
were in those plantations and there was nothing we could do about it. That's what cultivated this culture. Because when they separated us from, like, we were, there was a time when the Israelites wasn't even allowed to practice their own culture. Like,
You
we
damn
were
right.
being persecuted for that.
Right. You
And
damn right.
then when we went in, they persecuted us, killed us, and made us practice their heathen religion and their heathen
Mm.
ways. And then
Mm-hmm.
they took us and enslaved us. And that's when our women started becoming bed wenches and whores and things like that. And it just became a culture for us because we're still in that slave mentality. So we have to break that. That's up to us, brothers who is in the
Mm-hmm.
truth, to break that from these sisters. And all I'm trying to do for my people is spread the word to my people and trying to save them. And I tried to reach out and do the brotherly thing to the other sisters and tried to talk to them. Like, I seen a girl at work, and I
Mm-hmm.
told her that you can't leave your husband. You had a baby for that man. That is your husband. And I
Right.
begged her to go back to him. And she said, please, that man is not my husband. I said, yes, he is. And I explained to her that sex was marriage. And I
Mm-hmm.
let that sister know um, that 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 is her husband, and I'm trying to bring that sister in here. If
Right.
I can find her when I get back to work, because we had a conversation in the parking lot, and I'm going to try to find her and get her in here.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Excellent. You know what I'm saying? Listen, everything you said was spot on. You're right. And as the men, as the leaders over Israel, you're right. We do carry the responsibility of, I'm getting our people in line. You understand that? Again. And so you're right about that, man. And you're right. Like, so the women, and if they don't have a good representation, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard for them to, to follow anything. You know what I mean? So like, again, like I said, like, I apologize to you brothers, you sister and you know what I mean? Like, if your representation is not, doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to, it's going to throw you out of whack. You understand? So, and of course we all make mistakes and everything, and we do things that we're not supposed to do. But again, at the end of the day, our people all got to be, you know what I mean? As one, united in the truth, and trying to do the right thing. You know, understand? And again, we can't allow Satan to get to us. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what the fuck he's going to do. You know what I mean? Satan has a way, man. I'm gonna tell you, you cannot underestimate Satan, man. You cannot, because you think you got him beat, and he will find a way to try to slither his way in there. You know what I mean? He will. You know what I mean? So we always that's why it says put on, you know what I mean, the whole armor of God or the Lord, you know what I mean? Because at all times, and basically like Cap told me, you know what I mean, at all times, you got to keep exactly what's in that book. That's your only protection. You got to be doing exactly what's in the book. If you're not doing exactly what's in the book, you're going to slip. You know what I mean? You're going to slip. So, you know what I mean? So, and like I said, as a righteous man or woman, what it says, falls, well, how many times are around? What is it? You know what I mean?
Is it seven times?
7 times? Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it can happen. You know what I mean? But, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We all the same nation. We all the same people. We love our nation. And we all going for the same goal. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to remember. You know what I mean? So, but but to get back to that scripture, like I said, what Canuck broke down about that was exactly right. When you go to get with a brother or a sister, you gotta sit down. First of all, you gotta have good discernment, good judgment. You know what I mean? And the only way you do that is by really paying attention to the person. You know what I mean? And of course, with the knowledge of the Most High God, you know what I mean? If you're in the truth, this will be a little bit easier for you. But, if you're in the world, we all fell for that. You know, we were all in relationship. We were all in relationships in the past. We look at it now and be like, damn, what the hell was I thinking?
What I mean? God.
Yeah, I mean, but then, I mean, you had a different mentality. You know what I mean? So, it happens. You know what I mean? Now, okay, so let me jump into something else. I wanted to let me see, Romans 7:2. And again, when I'm looking for this, anybody can, if they got something want to say, sis, Ron, any one of y'all. Let me see. Romans 7:2. There was a reason why I wanted to bring this out. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, this is perfect. And like Canuck was just talking about. I'm gonna show this on my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. All right, let me know. It should be okay. Is it on there now?
Con.
Okay. Nashar. I guess she's back. Nashar, are you there?
Sir. People keep calling me and interrupting my stuff, and it messed everything up.
That's Satan. That's Satan.
Con.
He don't want you to get. He don't want you to get. You know what I mean? Yeah, we are. You already know. You know what I'm saying. You know what it is. But okay, so we going to jump back into like we jumping off what Canuck just said. You said he met that sister at his job, and he was saying like, you know what I mean. Read that for me, Canuck, if I could, Baba Kashaw.
For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the Lord to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. Now, This is the scripture that I was trying to find to tell that sister this.
Yeah.
So now that I know it, I'm gonna write this down, and when I come back to her, because I'm trying to save this sister. Because man, I care about my people. I don't like seeing black women out here or our women out here the way they are. I don't like it because like the better it is for them, the better it is for me.
You damn right.
And the rest of our people.
You damn right. And listen, and this every time when we have classes or you're watching General Muhammad's class or Captain Ador, always write down your precepts. You know what I mean? Get you a book and write these scriptures down so you'll be able to go. Because I know Sister Nasha Arka, she's famous for doing this. She got she keeps a precept book. You know what I mean? So she knows what I'm talking about. And so is Aaron. You know what I mean? But yeah. Romans 7:2. For the woman which hath a husband is bound to the law as her husband, so long as he liveth. But if he be dead, she is loose from that law. So basically, think about this. You know what I mean? And of course, if Meg the Stallion, go ahead, Aaron. You want to say something?
So look, I didn't want to interrupt. I'll let you, and then I'll go after you, sir.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I didn't want to get ahead of you, but I didn't know if you was going to 3 because 3. Verse 3 is heavy also. I didn't want to jump ahead of you, sir.
Oh, no, come on. You go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Appreciate you. You go do your thing. Go ahead.
So verse 3 is basically with what every Christian woman and man does a lot of times. And I'm going to read it. It says, this is Romans chapter 7, verse 3. So then it says, so then if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man. So that's like somebody getting a divorce, as you know, that's every day.
Uh-huh.
That says she shall be called an adulteress. So if they get a divorce for any other reason other than if she basically commits adultery,
Right.
you know, she's an adulteress because he's
Right.
not dead.
Right.
But and it says, but if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so
Right.
that she is known adulteress, though she be married to another man. So there's
Right.
no reason, just because now this is in the truth, just because he goes out and gets another woman, is no
Right.
right for her to divorce him
Right.
and go
Right.
move on. I didn't want to get
Right.
ahead of you, Salakia.
Oh no, that was heavy. And that's where we're going into it with it. You know what I mean? You're right. You know what I mean? So, and of course, they're not in the eyes. She became the commander, Juliana, and they don't know this. You know what I mean? But so she put out to the world that, you know, he cheated on me. That's why that cheating word. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you something on that too. That cheating word is another thing. You know what I mean? It's always talking about, you know, men cheating. But you know, in the UPK, we know that it's not a such thing as a man cheating. You know what I mean? Because a man can have more than one rib. You know what I mean? That's you know, lawful. You know, how does he become a sinner when it comes to that?
You asking me, Adawan?
Go ahead, brother.
Well, if in a situation like that, only way he becomes a sinner if he throws her away, or if he goes and deals with another married woman, or if he's committing some kind of sexual deviant, maybe he's messing with another man. That happens all the time,
right?
You know,
Right.
And if he goes out and get a married woman, or if he goes and sleeps with another man, or if he throws her away, now he's making her commit adultery because he threw that woman away, and the sin would be, I think, on him, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. That's a heavy breakdown. You're right, and see, and that's what I'm trying to bring out here, because now, of course, if we had a bunch of females or women on this screen right now, and we start, you know, they don't have a clue what we're talking about when it comes to that. All they see is he cheated. That's all they see. He cheated, so she left. But the thing is, now, according to the UPK, if you just look at the situation at hand, she left him. So she's wrong. You see what I'm saying? She's wrong. Now, of course, he probably should have never got with her in the first place, especially given her history. You know what I mean? I don't know what his situation was before he got with her. I don't know. But so to the world, it looks like he did wrong. But you know what I mean? In the world, they think that. But really, in all honesty, he didn't do anything. He hasn't even spoke. You know what I mean? So again, she put him away, which is unlawful. Go ahead, brother.
And also what the sister tried to do, which, and I ain't bashing sisters, but it's just what they do a lot of times. She tried to get ahead of the story. So what she does is she puts her, you know what I'm saying? She puts him out to be a monster. So all the women will basically kind of take her side because she put the word cheat out there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
She put that out there, that joint out there first, right? And again, and you know, guys do the same thing too. They've done it. You know what I mean? They've definitely done it. So yeah, that was heavy what you brought out. That was heavy, you know what I mean? And that was true. Everything you said was absolutely true. You know what I mean? So again, like now if you go into the Zondervan Bible Dictionary and on page 511, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna pull it up here, but if you go, you know, anybody who knows what the Zondervan is, it's going to tell you what marriage is. Now, and in short, to make it short, sex is marriage. You understand that? So anybody you out there, you know, laying around with, you're married to. You know what I mean? And as a woman, once you open them legs to a man, that's it for you. So just imagine from day one, if you know your father or mother came to you and said from day one, like, listen, you know, the first man that you lay down with, you're stuck with them for the rest of your life. I can guarantee most sisters would be like, I'm gonna wait. I'm
sir.
Would you say, sis? Sis is like, come on, she answered that shit quick.
But Salaki, if I may, sir.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I want to piggyback after Priest or Ron. Like, since she made that made him a bad guy, now they got a thing where all the women are cheating. Talking about they're gonna be cheating.
Oh, that was heavy. Yes, he did. Thanks for breaking that up, sis. You right. Hey, look, it's a challenge. Who can cheat on their man first?
I think that's crazy. What they called it, a cheat challenge.
A cheat challenge or something. I'm like, wow.
That's heavy.
Hey, sis, you know what's so crazy is, isn't it amazing that how so many women are that destroyed? They like, you know what? I'm jumping in this. I'm going to do it just for Meg Thee Stallion.
That just goes to show that her influence, that lifestyle that they are portraying, whether she's living it or not, that's how much influence it has on just normal people.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's sad. And it's really sad.
Yes.
Very
It
But
is.
you can only be influenced. I really feel like you can only be influenced as a woman if you didn't have a dad. If you
There
wasn't
you go.
raised with your
There you go.
father, it's so hard to be influenced out here. And then, like I tell people, like having a husband is a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Damn right. Listen, I love that because this sister, she loves her father. You know, we've had plenty of conversations, and I know how she feels about her dad. And that's exactly how I want my daughters to feel about me. You know what I mean? But because she's had her father in her life all the time, she can talk about things that other people, they just, some women don't understand because they didn't have that love from their father, or they don't have the love for their father. You see what I'm saying? So when she talks, you know what I mean? I love the way she defends her father. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she talks good about her father. Yeah. And her father taught her well. You see what I'm saying? Her father taught her well. You know what I mean? So she don't come out here with that, hatred towards men because they feel like they've been done wrong or something like that.
Because the thing about it is, your mother, I'm going to be honest, your father creates a woman. Your mother creates a whore. Because when you have your father in your life, he's not letting you do everything. Like my mom said, you could go here. My dad said, hell no, she ain't going.
You see?
You get what I'm saying? So she can't.
Heavy.
No, she can't hang with that girl that got a baby already.
Listen,
you get what I'm saying? So your father see things that your mom don't see.
I'm making a clip out of that. I'm making a clip right here. I'm making a clip out of that one. I'm making a clip out of that. That's definitely going on the page right there. Because the sisters need to hear a sister saying that. You see what I'm saying? They need to hear that. Yeah, I mean, that's heavy what she just said. That is absolutely heavy. Absolutely heavy. What was it? The next verse was let me see here. Give me 1 second.
1 Corinthians.
Yeah. Let me go back to this. Let me see something. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we'll leave that there. Let me show this.
7 and 11, maybe. 7 and 8.
Yeah, I think it's 7 and 11. I believe it is. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to 11 now. Is it back on the screen?
And if I may, while you're pulling that up, I think a lot of women, they support their mother because your mother is usually the yes person. The father is usually the disciplinarian.
Sis, let me tell you
so
something.
That's why a lot of times they talk bad on their father because their mother is upholding them in their wrongdoing.
Let me tell you something, sis. Let me tell you something, sis. You're. I'm going through that right now.
Y'all hear me? I think it went out again.
No, I hear. We hear you,
sis.
We hear you. Can you hear us? So, sis, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
She might have went out, sir.
She might have went out. Okay, yeah, we heard her though. When she jump back in, we'll let her know.
That was a heavy point she made.
Yeah, that was. And I'm with her. Can you hear us, sis? She'll come back in again, and then and I'll let her know. But yeah, that what she just brought up, I'm going through that right now with my oldest daughter. We got. Can you hear us, sis?
Salaki.
Yeah,
Con, sir, it keep going in and out. I don't know what's wrong with this today. Don't never did this.
Yeah, we're solid over here. Like we stay on the screen when you go out, but we heard everything you said, and what you said was absolutely right. And I was trying to share with you that I'm going through that right now with my oldest daughter. Like, you know what I mean? So like my oldest daughter is basically being, coached and brainwashed and shit, you know what I mean? And because like you said, I'm trying to put certain values into my daughter, but the mother is like, trying to be her friend and shit. You know what I mean? Trying to like, basically, pacify her and you know what I mean? And then, and basically using my daughter for her own.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sir. I'm about to restart my whole device because this is irritating.
We can hear you, sis.
We can hear you, sis. Let me see.
I put mine on do not disturb sometimes when I'm having like class and stuff like that, because I think a lot of the calls and messages won't come through.
Okay, maybe that's what it is, or some type of internet activity, something like that. But she'll come back in. But anyway, all right, let's jump onto the next. Let's go to Matthew 18 and 15. We'll go there. Matthew 18 and 15. Hold on 1 second, Salakia. Hey, I tell you what, Canuck, man, shit. Since the last time we had you in class, brother,
come up, didn't he?
You've been definitely studying.
Damn right.
Sir.
You've been we I'm proud of you, man. You're definitely ready to speak. I can see that. Like, you know what I mean? You got it in you, brother. You know what I mean? So don't you ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And when your brothers got you, we right there with you. So you
Damn right.
Definitely ready. Yeah. So all right, now this is a heavy one, right? This is something that we all need to learn right here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We all need to practice a little better. Haran, read this for me.
Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Keep going.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Now, we can relate this to the Meg Thee Stallion thing here. What should she have done?
She should have probably just went to that brother. I don't know why she goes to the internet to do anything.
Right, right. She went right to the airwaves. And the same thing. I've made this mistake. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that and coming out of the world is very easy to fail at this. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes you could forget, you know what I mean? You know, you get an ego, or you get, you know what I mean, you get whatever, you know what I mean, and you just, you talking shit. You know what I mean? But yes, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. And that's another heavy one too, because in the street, man, you say something or offend a brother or sister, and it never goes. You never see the person go to the person and make it right.
Never.
It never happens. And now your family's in a war with another family for generations. You know what I mean? You ready to fight? Me and Aaron got a problem. And me and Aaron and passed on 20 years ago, and now our families is fighting.
Two different neighborhoods,
Yeah, it's heavy. Heavy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So y'all understand this is pretty much clean cut right here. This is clear cut. You know what I mean? Yeah, go to that person, man. You know what I mean? Instead of going to anybody else. You know what I mean? Yeah, go to that person. All right, sis, we got you back, sis. You there?
Khan, sir. I restarted my device.
Okay, yeah, no problem. We are. I mean, we pretty much heard everything. I know you couldn't hear us, but we heard everything you said, and everything you said was right on. And we just pulled this up, Matthew 18 and 15. This is a big one, like I said. Myself, you know what I mean. We all got to practice this. You know what I mean. Matthew 18 and 15. Moreover, if that brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. And then we related this with Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, where she went on live, all over the internet and put him on blast, basically. You know what I mean? Which, this happens in the world. She's a woman. She can be emotional. You know what I mean? I know he didn't say anything, but, basically she should have just went to him and said with him. Same, in the situation, we have, whatever, anything. We all supposed to go to each other and talk to each other. You know what I mean? And like, again, it's very easy to make this mistake. You know what I mean? Especially if you're new in the truth. Or, you know what I mean? You can forget, you can make a mistake, you know what I mean? And it can easily happen, you know what I mean? But this is why we have this, you know what I mean? This is why we have this. This is one of the ones that we got to have, right in the front, in your mind, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother.
And this, if I may, sir, this is Christ speaking. This is not a suggestion. He ain't saying, well, maybe you should do it. No, he's telling you this is what you have to do. This is a direct order from your king. This ain't no joke or nothing like that. Or, you got to do this because it's very important. Remember, brotherhood's a weapon. So if you gain that brother, you got a brother. So sometimes it's just a misunderstanding.
Man, and that's really what it is, man. Misunderstandings. You know what I mean? And then again, if you're talking, you know what I mean, and things get mixed all up. That's why you go to that person.
That's why you go
say shit to nobody else, because this is how it happens. You know what I mean? So that's very heavy. You're right, and it's crazy because they put this in the scripture because he knew niggas was going to do this. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? We can sit there and think this is something small, but it's not. It's not something small, because again, like before Nasha Arika came on, we were saying, sis, that me and Aaron have an opt between each other, and we done passed on. We've been dead 100 years, and our families are still beefing with each other. You know what I mean? Because this law right here. Yeah. You know what I mean? So this is heavy. And then people always come up and say, "Oh, we don't need that Bible. We know that we know how to do these things. Without we don't need that. We got common sense." Yeah, okay. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, like I say, even in the truth, man, you need to be reminded of these things. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as people think it is. It's not. You know what I mean? You know how it is to be Judah, nigga. Shit, Stallion. You know, Judah. You can't tell us nothing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You think you right even when you wrong.
On, sir.
Yeah, Judah, you can't.
Judah's a trip, man. Judah's something else.
Yeah, listen, man, that's that ego, that cocky ego we have. You know what I mean? Like, and we got to break it. You know what I'm saying? I know me personally, I got to break it. You know, break it sometimes. You know what I mean? I have to break it, but I don't do it, you know, purposely. But it's just coming out of the world. You know, we put on this. When you're in the world, you use that to like protect yourself. But here in the truth, you don't need that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You're supposed to be brotherly and sisterly in here, so you don't have to be like that with your brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, if I ever offended any of you, you know what I'm saying, I apologize for that. You know what I mean? Because my intentions is never to offend anyone. You know what I mean? Never to offend anyone. Y'all, I love all y'all. Y'all my brothers and my sisters, and that's how it's always going to be. And believe me, we're gonna get on each other's nerves like a motherfucker. Yeah, that's going to happen. So I'm gonna tell you that. But you know, at the end of the day, we all in the truth. We all have love for each other, and we all have one goal. Like the brother Canuck brought out, he's here for his people, and you can tell in his passion and his voice, he means that shit. You know what I mean? He means it. So you know what I mean? Yeah, give him a hand for sure. And like I said, we all are like that. We all, but always remember too, Satan is working against us. You know what I mean? He's trying to get us to get off point. You know what I mean? And he's very good at doing it. He's very good at doing it. So always remember, even if you have like the smallest thing, you know what? Let me go to this brother. Let me go to this sister. You know what I mean? Let me ask. You know what I mean? We got to do it that. We always got to remember. And again, if you slip up, you slip up. It happens. You know what I mean? But I never hold anything personal towards anyone, and I hope they don't do it towards me either. You know what I mean? And that's even not even just here in the world. I've never been the type of brother that I don't. You know, some shit could happen today, and then tomorrow I'll be like, oh, you know, that wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Because you know why I know? Because this is one thing I do know about the truth. If you're that type of person that holds on to things like that, how the hell could you ask for forgiveness from the Most High?
Heavy,
you know?
heavy.
Yeah. Like
heavy.
Honestly, yeah. How you cannot. You know how many times we offended the Most High? We shouldn't even be on this screen talking right now.
Come on, sir.
You know what I mean? Like we should listen. So if the brother next door, the sister next door offended you, nigga, you gotta let that go. You know what I mean? Like or you know, whatever the disagreement was. You know what I mean? There's nothing that you can say to me that it made me say F that person for life. There's nothing you can say to me. You know what I mean? Like I'll forget about it, and next day, like, oh, we was oh, that ain't nothing, man. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I've always been that way. So again, like I said, the Most High, man, listen, we done things that if the Most High didn't have His mercy on us, bro, we would not be here. You know what I mean? So that's you already know where I'm going with that. That's just the absolute truth, because we can all attest to that. But again, so I wanted to show you something, right? So Meg Thee Stallion said, he cheated on her, right? Now let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna put this on the screen, and we're gonna read something real quick. Let me see something real quick. Salakia, one moment. Okay, I'm pulling up this chat. It might be a little small for y'all, but I want to show you something real quick. So I'm reading a little bit. It says what actually happened. Meg announced the breakup on social media and said trust, fidelity, and respect was broken. That unfaithful and emotional, inconsistent. She blamed him for being that. Right now, I'm going down here real quick. All right, let me see. I actually did. I wanted to see. I hear this. Cheating term all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Now you hear this all the time about cheating. So let's see. I got it down here somewhere. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it. Okay. And we're gonna see where this comes from. Let me see. And I've seen a lot of people was like, well, yeah, she deserved it because she made the song WAP and this and that. Now we all understand a lot of it's entertainment, and of course the things that she did say, there's some very sexually, subjective, what I mean, stuff that she shouldn't have said. But I mean, it's still she doesn't deserve to be attacked like like we're perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
And again, and like I said, I can't really say too much about the brother because he hasn't talked, so I don't know. Now I don't know if he did anything to her to cause her to he could have. I'm not saying he did. He could have put his hands on her. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I'm just saying from what I've seen, and we're talking from a UPK standpoint, you can't leave your husband. Just because he got another woman, you can't leave him. You know what I mean? And he should have, and like I said, if he's attracted to her because she was showing her tail on TV, I mean, you got what you got.
And if I may, we are so destroyed as a people. In the world, there's not one man that would turn her down in the world.
Yeah, that's heavy.
You know
That's
what I'm
heavy.
saying?
That's
Like,
heavy.
ain't nobody gonna not try to be with her. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but without the law, statutes, and commandments, you're just both destroyed. It's just a mess. She's going to, and next week it'll be a whole different story, and another week after that she'll be with a different guy. He'll be with a different. I mean, it's just a mess, man.
Heavy.
I think management put them together, because they put them together to get these stories, and it's all in a melting pot. It's all linked together to further destroy our community because they know that we're watching. That's what
I
I
don't put
think.
that past Esau. Yeah,
Yeah,
Esau do
yeah.
all kinds of shit.
Yeah, he's heavy. You're right. Like like what he's saying. He's right. I do think they definitely got together on their own merit, but America promotes that. They want them together. They want them. Well, so what he's saying is right, because they put it like this. They will never put Commander Junior Hunter in his, if he, his rib, and what I mean, because they know they would be seeing the right way. You see what I'm saying? They don't want you to see that. They don't want to see a successful black marriage or Hispanic marriage. They don't want to see that.
There's no money in that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. And they and this is what, like the brother Canuck said, like he has compassion for the women. They going for the women first.
Yep.
They're gonna get our women first. Because they help bring us down. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They know. That's like in the garden. They went for what? Eve first.
Eve. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't go to Adam because he knew he couldn't get Adam.
Right.
He went to Eve. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's heavy. So, all right, I put this on the screen. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's kind of small, probably, but I'm gonna read this to y'all because I know it's kind of small for y'all. All right. Okay. So the word cheating doesn't come from a specific people or ethnic group. It comes from the evolution of the English language. The roots going back through Old French and Latin tied to law and government. Okay, here we go. 1, medieval Latin. It's a government legal term. The root is cader, which means to fall. From this came esciata. It's medieval Latin, referring to property that falls back to the state when someone dies without heirs. This is what cheating comes from. Now listen. All right, the term became escheti, a sheet, meaning fortified property. All right, so you see, this is all talking about property to the seas, right? And this is like medieval times, Rome and all that, right? Now, here we go. It's going to show you the evolution, all right? Now, shifting meaning in the 1500s. People began associating officials who handled these sheets with corruption or trickery. You see where it's going? Corruption or trickery. The word cheat evolved to mean fraud, deception, or swindling, all right? Verse 5. Modern English. Cheating now means deceiving someone, breaking rules, games, relationships, etc. All right. So you see how it
evolved.
Yeah, right. You see how what it went into, right? So the key takeaway: Old French, English, property falling to the state. That's what it originally meant, and then they modernized it to deception or dishonesty. So it's not tied to any race or specific people. But I know this is around the time during the Romans and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you can pretty much equate it to them. You know what I mean? So when they say the word, a lot of people don't even know what the word cheating means. You know what I mean? Like they don't even know. They have no idea what it means. But again, there's no such thing as a man cheating. There's no such thing. You know what I mean? A man can have more than one woman. And this is not Priest Officer Kwangwan speaking. This is not any of you speaking. We know this is what in the Bible is lawful. You can do it. Now, can you throw a woman away? No, you can't. Can a woman have more than one husband? No, she can't. Can a man do certain things to a woman and just get away with it just because he's her husband? No. You understand that? And we have counsels for things like that. You understand that? So now looking at it from a worldly perspective, Klay Thompson, Meg Thee Stallion, they don't know these rules and laws. You know what I mean? We know they don't know that. But we're teaching our people to do the right thing. So we got to bring up the scriptures. You understand that? We have to talk about what's right. All right. So now y'all can jump in. I'm going to go to the next thing. Okay. Nobody got anything? Okay. So now what are they big on now? So they're talking about this cheating thing. So look, what is it going to? Monogamy, right? Now we know where we're going with this, right? Okay. So monogamy, where did it start? Monogamy is a relationship system where one person has only one partner at a time Y'all hear that? At a time. That's what monogamy is. It can refer to social monogamy, which is living together as a pair, marriage, or long-term partnership, sexual monogamy, exclusive sexual relationship, or serial monogamy, when one partner at a time, but multiple partners over a lifetime, which is common today. You see what I'm saying? So this is monogamy. All right, now, okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to skip right down to 3 because this is where it really matters. Ancient Greece and Rome. In places like ancient Greece and ancient Rome, legal marriage was typically monogamous. However, men could still have mistresses or concubines. So strict exclusivity wasn't always practiced. Spread through religion and law. Religions like Christianity strongly promoted one man, one woman marriage. Here you go. You see, it was more Christianity, it was more religion that promoted this, and the Romans which promoted this. Over time, especially in Europe, monogamy became the legal and cultural standard. This spread globally through colonization and cultural influence. You see? So before the white man came along, you know what I mean? Brothers and sisters, brothers had more than one wife. You know what I mean? Now, it's going to tell you why they pretty much did this. Why monogamy became common. Child rearing. 2 parents increase survival chances. Resource stability. Easier to manage property and inheritance. See, that's the big thing there. They made monogamy a law because,
property.
Yeah, right. Inheritance. So if you have all these women and you have all these children, who's going to get what? You see? God. They're going to fight over who gets what the father left or whatever. All right. Social order reduces competition and conflict. I just said that. All right. Cultural religious norms reinforced over time. All right. So it has biological roots, meaning pair bonding, and social reinforcement, laws, religion, economics. So they instituted monogamy for political and religious reasons. You understand that? That it wasn't like something that is biblically speaking, it's something that they just instituted to control people.
Damn right.
That's all it is. You know what I mean? It ain't got nothing to do with, no laws from God. It's not a sin for you to have more than one woman. Now, in every case, is it smart for a man to have more than one woman? Not all the time.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, it's not for every man. It's not for every man. I'm telling you, because you know what I mean? It's a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? Now, some men can do it. Some men can do it, but it's not for every man. You know what I mean? It's not. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to bring that out. So that's where the cheating, stuff comes from. Because, people, especially like a lot of sisters in the world, they would talk about, oh, he cheated. He stepped out on her. He cheated. He cheated. You know what I mean? But they don't even really know what cheating means. And again, like I said, it's not unlawful for you to have more than one woman. You know what I mean? Now, she brought up infidelity. We're going to get through this real quick. We'll be done in a minute. Infidelity, trust, cheating, and unfaithful, right? I'm going to pull up Acts 5:29. We're going to get through these scriptures real quick. Let me see. Acts 5 and verse 29. Let me see. Salakia, one moment. Let me see. Okay. Salakia, let me bring this up on the screen. Okay. Now, who says that it's cheating? Who says that? Anybody can answer that. Who says a man having more than one woman is cheating?
The wicked Christian church says that.
True, but to bring me home, men make that up. Men and women make that up. Because it ain't just women that say it. Men say it too. IUIC, Bishop Nathaniel will tell you that. Right? So Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. All right. So first of all, don't come to me with some emotional complaint about how you feel about something. If it's not in this Bible, then I don't want to hear it. If the Most High God is okay with it, then it's okay. All right. So I'm going to obey God rather than what I say. You understand that? Or whether what man or woman says. That's my whole point of bringing that out. All right. I just want to show that first. Now I'm going to go to Genesis. Now I'm going to show you in the scriptures where what? You got more than one wife. You know what I mean? And this is more so for like Cardi B or any woman who thinks that, a man, can't have more than one woman. You know what I mean? It's it always goes back to that. It's always that, more than one woman thing. It's like,
but the problem is, I like you tell a woman that and show them in the Bible, they gonna say, "Fuck that! I don't believe that. I
Yeah.
believe this." And these
Hmm.
are God's words, and some of these women don't care about that. They got their own set of beliefs. This is what I was talking about, and I was saying that if your beliefs do not coincide with the Bible, then you have no beliefs. Your beliefs are wrong because all of my beliefs coincide with what the verses in the Bible is saying.
Right. And that's exactly, you just supported what I just said. That's why I said we ought to obey God rather than man. You see what I'm saying? So people could come with how they feel and what they believe, but it doesn't mean nothing if the Bible doesn't support it. So
And
when you go ahead, sis.
Salaki, if I may, sir.
Go ahead, sis.
And the reality is, when you're dealing with a man, like, women just gotta face the reality. It's
Right.
very rare that you're gonna get with a man and he's gonna be
Hmm.
with only you. So the reality is, you're gonna leave just about every man you get with
Hmm.
for so-called cheating.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. And this is why it's so heavy that the sis is saying this, because they need to hear it from her.
You
Because
have to humble yourself and
right.
accept what the Most High says.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And
You're
that's
right.
just the bottom line. You got to stop being selfish.
And that's heavy. That's heavy because, and that's what it is. Yeah, what they've been saying online, share. I mean, they got that out there, and these women is pissed about that. Would you
Sharing
share
is caring.
him?
But you're sharing your man anyway. That's
Anyway,
the
right,
reality.
yeah,
Like,
right,
you're sitting there in la la land.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
for a fact you sharing your man because you all in his phone and you see what he doing.
yeah. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Listen, and this is why, sisters in the world need to see you, active and around this truth, because they see that spirit on you and they be like, you know what? Well, this sister's doing it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Maybe I can come in here and I can learn. This is why, another reason why, I got to make sure I'm 100% on point. You know what I mean? Because, like, again, you can offend, a new brother or sister coming into the world, you know what I mean? Or coming out of the world, you know what I mean? So you got to be a certain way. You got to make sure you don't offend them, or, they're seeing the wrong things. You know what I mean? So you're right. Like, exactly what you said, sis. You're right. You know what I mean?
I'd rather have if I may, sir, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'd rather have an honest man.
Right. There you go. And that's the thing too. I'm gonna keep it real with you too. A lot of women, they don't like that idea, but when you get with the sister, if you really tell them that's what it is with you and give them opportunity to choose, they still might deal with you. They still might. The problem comes when you already got a woman and you try to tell them then. You see what I'm saying? They can't stand that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you come with it, you've been with them for 2 or 3 years. You know what? Hey, I'm getting another woman. You what? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But of course, a lot of us weren't in the truth then either. You see what I'm saying? So, it's best to just, when you meet a sister, if you're a brother, just tell them right off the top what you believe. Not even what you believe, what you know to be true, and it's your right. It's your right to do that. And the sister, she has the right to deal with you or not. She doesn't have to be in a relationship with you. She can go her life without ever having a man if she wants. So it's not like, when a man presents that to you, you got to be like, all right, I got to bow down and be your wife because you say so. No, if you don't want to be in a relationship with a brother, now you open your legs to that brother, it's good night. It's over. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. So if he gets 20 women after that, you're one of them. You know what I mean? But this is why our people need to know right now. They need to know, the truth, and we got to bring it to them. And that's what our job is. And I actually became the commanding general Yohana. We will have that chance to speak some, and teach our people, Lord willing, this Saturday coming up. You know what I mean? So that would be a great, thing to happen. Okay, let me see. Anything else I want to bring out here? Y'all can bring something in if y'all want. I want to go to the last topic, but go ahead.
And what I mean by an honest man, it's like when you're dealing with a worldly man,
right.
He got 2 and 3 bitch. Ooh, he got 2 and 3.
Yeah, I know you go, sis, you good.
He got 2 or 3 females out there already. So if you come into the truth and you're dealing with an honest man, you get what I'm saying? You know how it's set up. He's not going out there. You don't have to, like, when you're dealing with a worldly man, he's doing stuff. He's lying and doing stuff behind your back, bringing you different diseases. But when you got an honest man, you shouldn't have to deal with that, because either way, you're going to deal with other women.
Right.
And that's just the reality.
Yeah. Excellent. You're right. And like I said, even us in the truth, we struggle with losing ways of the world. So we got to have compassion on brothers and sisters in the world. You know what I mean? You got to remember there was a time we were in the world too, and we're still fighting demons too. You know what I mean? So it ain't. So that's why you got to be like, we got to have patience with them. You know what I mean? Because again, we're in the truth, and we struggle too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's things that attack us too. So you got to really have compassion for somebody who's not in the truth. You know what I mean? So so we're gonna talk about this last thing, and then we're gonna jump out of here. So what you see now, like the sister brought up about how they talk about they got like a competition now where, you know what I mean, who's the first to cheat on their man and all this and that. So it's bringing up a thing they like to call what? Battle of the sexes, right? So you got battle of the sexes now, right? Now, and I know y'all all know this, right? Who benefits and who loses in battle from the sexes? So when you're online, you got all these posts and memes talking about Meg the Stallion and Klay. You see, I've seen this one, man. There's some ill videos online right now about this, man. There was you remember did y'all see the meme where they got Klay Thompson and Meg the Stallion? So I don't want to laugh about this, but they got Meg the Stallion laying on the ground. They got Klay Thompson stepping over her like Allen Iverson. You see that?
I didn't see that one.
Look, I don't feel so bad because the sis laughed first. That was crazy, man.
But she wasn't his type. Like,
yeah, God.
She didn't know how to act in public.
Yeah, I seen that. That was wild. He was. You see him sitting in the chair. He was just like.
Yeah, like he was like it was like he was in a trance or something.
Man, listen. Some of those memes is ignorant as hell, man. They are torturing her. I'm telling, and it's sad. But the reason why they're doing it is because they're looking at her past and they're like, because she did horrible things, they just attacking her now. That's what it is. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I know that's why they're doing it. You know what I mean? But also, you know what else I seen too? So I seen somebody say this. You remember when Kevin Samuels died, right? You remember what women were saying about that?
That's what he did. That's what he did. Yeah, all this.
Oh man, they was. Oh man,
happy. They did a parade when he passed away.
Oh man, yeah. So it's like I guess the scorn hurt men. You know what I mean? When Kevin Samuels, they're like, oh, we about to get them back for this shit. You know what I mean? Like it's. But there we go. So I'm talking about the battle of the sexes. Now let's think UPK. Where am I going with this? Who's benefiting from this?
This is all Esau benefiting from that.
Yeah, the content creators and the goddamn Jewish man.
Gone.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'll be on a minute. Yeah, the content creators and the damn so-called Jewish man, right? That's who's benefiting. Why? Because who owns Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? YouTube is some damn Hindu guy. I can't even say his name. It's Sundar or something. You know what I mean? TikTok is owned by a group, but then owned by some Asian. So when all these things are happening, nigga, you ain't benefiting from this. You looking stupid. We looking stupid as a people, and the goddamn heathens are benefiting from this. You know what I mean?
I don't understand how women even look up to Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Like, she goes from man to man. Like, what is so special about her?
And she don't even live up to being a stallion. That's not how a stallion is supposed to act.
Priest cannot.
Hey, look, I can't wait till he can do his thing with him. I can't wait.
When you a stallion, you supposed to be a fucking G, yo. You ain't supposed to be no. She's not a stallion, man. I can't explain what she is. She might be more of a medallion than a stallion.
Listen. If I could, she's a sister. You know, she grew up under oppression just like the rest of us. She's lost. You know what I'm saying? She's a lost sheep of Israel. She don't know no better, and she's just doing what she think is best. You know, that's all it is.
To make money.
Like right. Like our parents. You know, they loved the hell out of us, but they were wrong. You know what I mean? They just didn't know. That's why we have the truth. So we're the ones that's giving the world the truth. And we, you know what I mean? We got to be perfect. You know what I mean? So I understand what Meg Thee Stallion is doing. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand how she is. You know what I mean? I understand it. White man come to you damn near climbing out the garbage pail, and the white man comes to you listen, I got this agenda for you. All you gotta do is follow it, and you're gonna be worth $100 million. You think any nigga on the street ain't gonna do that?
Right. And got all kinds of endorsements. She got a
Oh
ton of
yeah.
endorsements.
Oh
You know what I
man.
mean? She's not
Yeah.
turning that down. So if she got to portray being a whore, or even if she is really a whore and then she's got to portray it, most women are going to take that bait. It's bait, is what it
Yes.
is. It's really
Yes.
bait. White
Yes.
man
Now,
baiting her into being a whore and pushing that on other sisters.
priest, and what the sister said, the difference, the X factor there is that father or that parent. You know what I mean? That tells you that you can't do that. It's not right. You know what I mean?
Sir, if I may,
Go ahead, sis.
my middle child, this I ain't gonna say the name, but this one big rapper wanted to talk to her, right? And my son was like, I told my sis, go ahead and get that money. My daughter said, no, it's not. She said, I'm not even into that lifestyle.
Yeah,
She
because of you.
rejected him. And I
Because
said,
of you.
no, I'm so proud of you that you rejected him.
Yeah,
That
because
just
of
let
you.
me know she
That's what's
listened
up,
to.
sis.
Yeah, you damn right. Yeah, that's because of you. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. You know what I'm saying? And that be the difference. That's what I said.
And
like,
her father. And
yeah,
I can say her father as well, because I
damn
let
right.
her stay with her father for the last 2 years because she was getting out of hand. So you know what? Go live with your father.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And
Changed her whole attitude.
and you was like, no, stay over there. Yeah, so you want to stay
she
over there.
thought she could call me like, I can't know. He said, I am the Uber. Yep, his house, his rules. His house, his rules. Don't call me. It's gonna be a physical challenge.
And that's what they be needing, because sometimes parents try to get caught up in that. Oh, my child chose me over that one. You know what I mean? No, we on the same accord here. You with your father, listen to his rules. You know what I mean?
Right.
Period. Yeah, that was heavy what you brought out. So we're gonna bring out this last scripture and we'll jump out of here. Revelations 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I love thee. And I'm bringing this back because, of course, it all comes down to the so-called Jewish man, or the devil that the Bible speaks about. He's the one that has rulership over the planet, and he's really the real reason why everything is happening the way it is. You know what I mean? It trickles down to us, but it starts with him. You understand that? So it starts with him, then it gets down to the owners of these companies, and then the content creators, and then it hits the streets, with the rappers and all that, and then it gets to us, and now we fighting over Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. You know what I mean? Because I'm a guy and you're a female. You know what I mean? So we fighting about this shit. You know what I mean? And of course, in the UPK, we don't do that, but you know what I'm talking about. In the world, that's how it happens. You know what I mean? But the devil of the Bible, you know what I mean, that the Bible speaks about, is the author of all confusion. You understand that? But again, so that's all I really want to bring out with this. You know what I mean? This Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson thing. We know they both are peoples. They both Israelites. You know what I mean? And we got to have compassion for them both. And of course, the answer to all that is to ask UPK under command in General Yohana. All right. So now to get to you, brothers and sisters. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to I just talked to Ron not too long ago. He has access to this channel too, and we're going to have, whether it's myself or him, every Wednesday will be a class. You know what I mean? It'll usually be live class. Now on the weekend it won't be live, and I'll explain to y'all that when I talk to y'all. But during the week it will be a live class, and we're going to start another thing too. We're going to start having camp a lot more. So you're going to be seeing us out. You know what I mean? Saturday in Pittsburgh and in Cleveland. We're going to rotate the camps, whatever. So we already had a successful camp in Cleveland like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. And then we're this Saturday coming should be camp. If not this Saturday, probably be the following Saturday. But so we're going to be out there a lot this summer. So you will be able to come down, see the camp. You know what I mean? Tell you, peoples, you know what I mean? We'll be there in the flesh. You know what I mean? To spread this word and this truth to our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Again, like I said, any of you brothers go ahead, sis, go ahead.
The first fruits, feast of the first fruits.
Oh yeah. She brought that up. She did say that to me the other day. So, okay, that's when what is it? What day is that, sis?
Well, I know it's the end of the month, like May the 29th, 30th, something like that.
Is it a Sunday?
I'm sorry.
Hold on, let me look. Let me see. I think it's a. Let me see if it's a Sunday.
Yeah, it is on a Sunday.
Okay, and what time is it? Well, no, that'll be later. But anyway, okay. So here this is how we talk this. I need y'all to. I know Aharon has to work early. No, Aharon works that day, right? You work that day.
I work on Sundays.
Okay, usually. Yeah, his schedule's different than mine. Canuck, you can talk to me about, you know what I mean, what your schedule is.
I work on Sundays as well.
Okay. See, that's the issue. Okay. So since I'm off, I know you're off, right?
Con.
But I
Okay.
might take a vacation day for that. I'm gonna take a vacation day for that day.
Okay. Well, here's what we can do. I'll talk to the sis because I got to call her anyway. Um, if we can't do a like a a dinner at the place, then we can meet somewhere and have dinner or something like that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'll talk to the sis and see what she got to say about that, and then we'll go from there. But I'm off Sunday, so I can do it for sure. She's off. If Kanaka's off, if he takes off, he can do it. And I'll run. You got to work. It's no big deal. And I'll talk to INR, and maybe he'll be off too. And maybe we can just, come together and do something. You know what I mean? And then another thing too is we gotta just in general, when we don't have camp, I will schedule the classes at the library on Saturday. So I'll keep you up to date on that. But we also have like major council and stuff like that too. So if it's not a major council or a camp, then I will schedule the class and I will let y'all know, ahead of time as early as possible. But you can definitely count on the class every Wednesday, whether it's myself or Aharon, you know what I mean? It should start around 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock. It depends on, I don't know exactly when he starts it, but usually like around 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? So you can count on that. And like I said, I will get back to you on, I'll let you know at least by that Monday at the latest if we're going to have a class on the weekend at the library or if we're going to camp or whatever. So you'll know about that too. So I'll keep you up to date for that. But again, and also, like I say, any issues or anything like that, don't be afraid to call me or contact me about anything. It's like I said, we all make mistakes and stuff like that or whatever, but we're in the truth. You know what I mean? We can let these things go. We can move ahead and we can deal with each other like brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever think, what I mean? We all in this truth. We all in the ISUPK, and this is how we handle things. You understand that? So I love all you brothers and you sisters. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that, and you can always contact me. You know what I'm saying? And get in touch with me about anything. You know what I mean? And like I said, from now on, I will go to whoever I need to talk to. I'm gonna go to you and talk to you, and likewise do the same thing to me. You know what I mean? And we'll keep it like that.
Damn right, sir.
All right. Okay. So anything else? Anybody got?
Blah.
All right. Well, hey, look, the water for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Ash you became the Commander Junior Hana. Get online. Support this truth. Pay your tithes. You know what I mean? We got Cam coming up here in Pittsburgh. I will, if we do have it this Saturday, I will have a flyer made, and I will share that flyer, and I will also continue to share the flyer for the class and everything as well too. And I will get in contact with y'all separately, sometime later today. But the water for everybody tuning in, and shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.